Hi guys, Ray here, City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well. It's just gone 7 o'clock in the morning after the night before, here to talk about City's win against Aston Villa last night. And what an important win it was. It's crucial, I think, in our bid just to scrape into the top five and get Champions League football next season. But I tell you what, after about 20 seconds when Rashford was through on goal and hit the post, I think he should have scored. It was a little bit worrying, more than a little bit worrying. I thought the writing could have been on the wall. We looked, as I think we've looked for most of the season, we looked shoddy. We looked poor. Let's be honest about it. You know, it was too easy for Villa to sometimes just pump balls up. They were one-on-one with us. You know, one defender trying to defend against, usually it's Rashford. I mean, they had this ball where they put it over his head and to the right, and he tussled with the defender. And half the time he was getting through. All right, he was going out wide. But lots of times that Villa were just, walking through our midfield. There were massive holes. And it really was a poor display from excuse me, my point of view. There were times when we had three players around one Villa player, all congested, and he just passes it through to somebody else in acres of space. And other times, there was no one in sight. So no City defenders or midfielders in sight. It's, it can't all. It's not just Rodri's not there. You know, it's one of, as you probably know, I don't go to too many games anymore just because of my work. I managed to go last night, and boy, there's a lot of people missing. There's 3 empty seats next to me. There's an old fella must have got his ticket off the exchange or something, or from a friend, because I'd never seen him before next to me, and I think it was his daughter who belting out. I mean, she, fully grown adult, belting out all the City songs with everybody, and getting well. They're both getting well behind the boys, and yeah, it was good bit of fun with them, especially the way the game finished. I'll come to that in a minute. But yeah, let's get some negativity out of the way. We were not very good. Yes, we had a lot of the ball, but it's having 60-odd% possession, passing it around at the back. It's nothing, you know. And I was watching in the first half. I was thinking, it's not so long ago that we had David Silva, who, hey, maybe my memory's wrong. it's letting me down, but he never gave the ball away cheaply. The way we were doing, with the way we were giving the ball away cheaply. And I was thinking back to David Silva and Leroy Sané working together. And Leroy Sané, every time he got the ball, I would be at my seat because the guy excited me so much with what he could do with that ball. And now we are just a boring team to watch, and it has been that way for a few years. And whilst you're winning, you kind of accept it and just grumble and move on. Yeah, you grumble about some of the state of the football because it is tippy tappy, pass it around here and there. So I just reminisce to those guys and looking at what we had there yesterday. Nobody really willing to take, no wingers to take people on. There was no Doku starting, no Savinho starting. I want some excitement. It's one of the reasons you don't go to football just to see us winning. You want to see some excitement. And we'll get to that. And look, they got that very soft penalty, I think. Yes, there was a little touch, Diaz on, was it Tielemans? But Tielemans just fell over. And the thing is, the ref didn't give it on the pitch. So it has to be so significant. I'm sure people have done VAR to death. It has to be a serious error. And I don't think it was. I think you could argue it was a minor error. If the referee had given it, VAR wouldn't have overturned it. Referee didn't give it, VAR shouldn't have overturned it. So, because I just think it was a minor thing. It wasn't worthy of that. And to be honest, if you're going to give it penalties for that, you should be giving them all the time. It is quite ridiculous. But yeah, so they scored from that penalty, and even though I think we had 5 shots in the first half, it was nothing inspiring, nothing exciting. We struggled to really get through. McAtee, look, he's just a kid. He needs time. The problem with clubs and fans as well, you don't want to give people time. You want to be winning. It's like a catch-22 situation. He's not going to get better until he's given an extended run in the team and get lots of time. He's not going to get a lot of time because you think he's not at the level you want yet. But as we saw with Cole Palmer, you let a fantastic. I mean, Cole Palmer, I still think was different. You could tell he was brilliant. I think he was just higher level than McAtee. When he was here, you see what happens when you let people go and then they're given a chance and look at the flourish. I still haven't done that video on players that have left recently that we shouldn't have potentially let go. I'll try and get some time to do it over the next day or two. But yeah, so that second half. So we went in 1-1 at half time. Second half was better fare. It was a bit more exciting, but you could see as the game developed, Villa thought they could get something out of this game. And I think late in the first half, you could see what they were doing. When we had a throw in our own half, we normally throw it, if we can't throw it sideways or forward to a player unmarked, we throw it back to a defender who's unmarked. What Villa did, very clever, they just put somebody on that defender. So we had no easy outlet because what we want to do, throw it to the defender. When the winger comes out to close him down, passes it across or passes it back to the keeper, and we just pass the ball around and keep control, easy control of the ball. But by having someone stood on him, we couldn't do it. You daren't throw it back when it's 1-on-1. It's got to go most likely sideways or forwards. And so there's more chance of a 50-50 and Villa getting the ball back. So that disrupted our play. It was quite evident. Second half, as I said, it was a bit more, let's say, entertaining. McAtee he was a long way out, but keeper was off his line. I think he should have scored. We were behind the goal on the other side, on the side stand, and we thought it was going in. And it just bounced out. And all the other bits and pieces aside, and half chances and not so no chances really. And it boiled down to the last few minutes. And I have to be honest, a lot of people had left. I mean, people were leaving after 77 minutes around me. So it's terrible. I mean, I did consider it, but that was in the first half. It was so bad. I thought, can I really watch it to the end? But in my prediction league, I had City to win. So I had to fight to the end. And we did. And we somehow got that win. Doku coming on did make a difference. He's a bit exciting. Yes, he's a bit hit and miss. But and yes, we were lucky the way we got, was it Sassy or whatever his name is, who jumped in and Doku skipped past him, and then he crossed it to the much maligned. He crossed it across the face of the goal. No one was there. It was a beautiful cross. Emi Martinez started to come out, and then he realised he can't do it, can't get to the ball, and the much maligned Mateusz Nunes coming at the far post, and it still had a lot of work to be done. Because it was the Villa defender coming across, and I think Nunes put it into the far corner. And honestly, guys, I've not screamed as much for a goal or end of a game or whatever as honestly, and this takes me back to Leroy Sané 2019 against Liverpool when we scored that second goal and at the end of the game, I just let everything go. And same yesterday, screaming and people next, it was just pandemonium, proper limbs. It was mental. Villa fans who had been baiting us, they shut up pretty quick after that. I think overall, to be honest, I think a draw was a fair result. It's not good. It wouldn't have been good for us for the Champions League top 5 spot that we're chasing. We're in pole position now, I think, with that win. It's a very tough game out of the way. Got a few games left. We've got I think another tough one on next Friday against, obviously we've got a FA Cup against Forest. We've got a tough game next Friday against Wolves, who are in decent form, and Villa are in decent form, very decent form. So, I think that is a crucial game. But we'll also know before then what the other teams do. I expect Newcastle to beat Ipswich and Chelsea, playing home to Everton. Come on, Everton. Come on, you Toffees. We love you, really. But yeah, last night, as I said at the start, so many faults at City. Ortega Moreno, I can't see him being the number one. I think Bernard used to tell me that. Mateusz Nunes, can't see him as a right back, or a right wing back. I still want my defenders to defend better. And there's still a lot wrong with the shape and the form of that team. And I think the way Pep sets up, you've got to have a lot of your players playing at the top of their game for it to work. And when we haven't got the quality, then in the players, then we struggle to play Pep's system. It was a worry. I'll finish off on this, to have Kovacic, Bernardo Silva, KDB, and Ilkay Gundogan start the game together. Well, it's like all boys brigade, and there really was, for me, very little pace, very little energy, not as good passing as we used to, and there was a lack of bite from us. We were not really going into tackles hard. We were not working at pressing much, especially in the first half, the way we would like. Villa wasted a lot of time, and that really bugs everybody. I remember at one point I was just working out how long they were taking over a goal kick. 20 seconds wasted. Referees just need to stamp this out, because it's not just the time they're wasting. You can have the time back. They're slowing the game down. Martinez went down with an innocuous injury. Another player went down with an innocuous injury. I just think that they're there to waste, not just try and waste time, but to disrupt the flow of the game. We want it to be continuously moving. They need time, because they're chasing the ball all the time. We have so much possession. Opponents need time to get the breath back, to recover a little bit. And yeah, that's not on. But look, guys, end of the day, we did what we had to do. Were we lucky? Absolutely. Did I enjoy it? You betcha. What a fantastic night. And you simply, actually, we'll finish on this about City and ticket prices. You can't go around charging 71 quid for tickets. You want fans in the ground, like last night. You want us going crazy when we score that injury time winner. You can't get that from fans sitting at home watching it on TV. You need that full house. You need the experience and the noise of the fans. You need a lot of local fans, because who's coming on a Tuesday night at 8 o'clock? Yeah, it's a lot of local fans and die-hard fans coming from around the country. So City, please don't price your own fans out of the game. Guys, if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you can hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around, Blues.